Right. So this particular problem, which is now been showing in the slide, it has been already given in the last class. So let us have a look into this problem and try to make the solution in a stepwise manner. Okay. So here some of the few things are been there, that is in addition, which is already been given in the slab base problem. Okay, so Vaibhavi, uh,
Yes, sir.
I'll make the my comments, whatever the queries that you have been posted, maybe
Okay.
by today evening. Okay,
Okay. Okay, sir.
because that is some small explanation is I have to make it. Is not much more explanations are required. So that I will make it.
Okay, sir.
So let us start this particular problem. The problem was a column which is having the ISHB 350 and the dead weight 661.2 Newton per meter, carries a factored axial load. It is purely on the axial load. Design a suitable bolted gusseted base. The base is resting on a M15 grade of concrete pedestal. 24 mm dia bolts of 4.6 grade and making this connection. So as usual, the what I will be doing first, let us first look into grade of the bolt that has been utilized, and for that let us put all these things together. That FU for the bolt, FU is 410 MPa, and the corresponding FY is 250 MPa, and then M15 grade of concrete, right? This is entirely for the bolts. And for M15 grade of concrete, the bearing strength, again the same thing that we are going to find it out. The bearing strength is equal to 0.45 of FCK, which is 0.45 multiplied by 15, that much MPa, so it would become 6.75 Newton per mm square. Okay, now what are the other things that we require? Gamma m naught, that has been required over here. So gamma m naught, you know already, it is to be considered as 1.10. And now we are basically coming into the ISHB 350 at the rate of 661.2, this particular column section. For this, essentially, what is the total depth D or total D or H, whatever the way you want to represent, it is up to you. 350 mm. The width of the flange, the BF flange width 250 mm. The thickness of the flange TF is becoming as per the, let me just oh right, I have now. So it is now giving me 11.6 mm. Then thickness of the wave essentially also is giving me something like 8.3 mm, right? And some of the other factors like gamma MB and all that you know already, 1.25. Okay, now it is a 24 mm dia of the bolt, 24 mm dia of bolt, So for that, the effective this area, you know now the terminology, what is A and B and all. So 353 mm square, and the D naught value is becoming 24, or the DH, I would say, or the DH, 24 plus 2, so it becomes, it is giving you a repressor kind of thing. So I am assuming that end distance, or on the other way around, the edge distance, I am assuming 39 mm, and you may consider other values also. I am assuming the pitch of the bolt to be this much, 60. Okay, so what are the other things required? D naught हो गया, E हो गया, P हो गया. So from here I can easily evaluate what is my single CR, double CR capacity, and the bearing capacity, etc. Okay, so now how much is the factored load that I have? Factored load that I have is equal to 1700 this much Newton. So how much area that has been required? Area required for base plate. First, let me just try to find it out. So it would be basically nothing but, it would be basically 1700 times 10 to the power 3 divided by, what it would be divided by 0.45 of FCK. So 6.75. So this much area. So this much area is becoming, to me, it is coming 251.85 multiplied by 10 to the power 3. That much mm square. Right. So now, after that, what I am going to do is, again, as it is a design related problem, so nothing has been given. It is a gusseted base. It is being saying. So what I am going to do is assume the size of the gusset plate, or the gusset, simply you can say. So now when we're talking about the assume the gusset plate, effectively at the first moment we are bothering about the thickness of the gusset plate. So gusset plate thickness, let's say TGP, gusset plate thickness is, I am assuming 16 mm thick on each side of the two flanges of the column section. On each side of the flanges of column. Okay, and in addition with that, I'm assuming two gusset angles. Sometimes we used to say, let me just write it down first, gusset angle, or sometimes we used to say that cleat angle. We used to say cleat angle of size ISA 150 by 115 by 5, because two legs are different in length. So that is the primary thing that in the last class we have been mentioned, that essentially as far as possible we used to keep for the gusset plate or gusseted base connection to angle the cleat angle to be different in length. Okay, so the how it would be now, how typically it would be looking like, let's have a first look into that, how typically it would be looking like. Okay, so what I'm going to do,
sir,
yes,
a cleat angle would be 150 into 115 into 16, right?
Yeah, sorry, not 5. It would be 16. 16 or 15, whatever it may be. 16 or 15, whatever it may be. Maybe you can provide 16, okay? Yes, it is not a 5. It is not 5. Okay. So this clit angle, actually you have to take it account that whether 150 by 115 by 15 is available in the steel table or not. If it is 15 is available, then you can consider 15, or otherwise you have to consider the same thickness of whatever you are considering over here. So what I'm going to do now is, let me put it in this way, that below of it the plate would be there. Okay, so let me just put it in this way. Sorry, actually it should be equal. It should show equal in nature. Okay, so now what it is there, this basically this part is the base plate. Below it there would be the different base pressure. Okay, different base pressure. So let's say this is my base pressure, it is coming something like this way. Okay, now 1 minute. Now yeah, this portion is called the gusset plate or the gusset, and this particular portion, the overhang portion of the gusset, it is called the outstand. Okay, and this outstand is not outstand, I'm putting outstand as a S naught. This S naught should not be greater than, there is the one clause is there, 13.6 times thickness times the thickness of the gusset multiplied by the epsilon. What is epsilon? Epsilon is nothing but, this epsilon is nothing but square root of 250 divided by f of y. Okay, now this is the column portion. Total depth is like this way. So now what would happen? This pressure on the outstand, actually, let me write it down. This pressure causing shear on this portion, shear and bending in the gusset, or whatever the pressure is been acting on the outstand. Okay, right. And this, sometimes what I prefer to take, that this particular D actually to be less than equal to, this is coming from some practical design point of view, some like that, T of G. T of G stands for GP, sorry, T of GP. So the portion of the gusset plate when it is being welded to the column flange. Right. And there is certain other things are there that will be coming slowly, and this is actually your on this particular diagram. This is actually, there would be some bolts over here. Here also there would be certain bolts and certain bolts. Okay, so here actually your that cleat angle or the gusset angle to be made. And if we look into the other way around, the let's look into this particular way. If we take it other way around, let's consider this particular part is the column portion. This particular part is the column portion. Over this column, here actually this particular portion is the gusset. This particular portion is the gusset plate. Okay, now over this gusset plate, after that this angle is going to attach. Okay, this angle is going to attach, and here let me write it here, your bolts are being connected. Your bolts are being connected. Okay, so now from here I'll come back again this particular figure little late. Now let me just start that how much width and all these things are required first. Okay, so the minimum width that has been required for the base plate. Okay, the minimum width that is required, because I have already calculated the how much is the total area that has been calculated, that has been required. So what is the total depth? 350 plus 2 times of this 16, 2 times of 16 plus 2 times of 115, that outstanding, and that other leg of the your cleat angle. So this much bare minimum width is required in the base plate. Okay, so this becomes around an approximate way around 620 mm, even though it is coming I think 615 or 612, but I am keeping around 620. So how much is the, so actually it would be coming 612 mm. So I am keeping the minimum width that has been required or that has been provided, that's 620 minimum width provided. Let it clarify, provided 620 mm. Okay, so the projection of the base plate beyond flange, column flange. Okay, beyond column flange, it would be basically nothing but where your angle toe, this cleat angle toe is up to the cleat angle toe is becoming 620 minus 612 divided by 2. So this much amount your projection, so it is 4 mm. Okay, and now from here the length of base plate is becoming total area that much required 251.85 multiplied by 10 raised to 3 divided by 620. Okay, so this becomes 406 something, 406 point this much, which I am providing something like 410. I am providing 410. Okay, so finally the base plate size plan dimension becomes 620 mm by 410 mm. Okay, now only thing is that has been left base plate ka thickness. We'll come back. Now what is going to happen is, let me just have a look into this, whether this much amount of, if this much amount of area has been provided or size has been provided. So what is the bearing pressure now? How much? The bearing pressure is now becoming 1700 10 raised to 3 divided by 620 410. That is same as we had done in the previous to make a cross check. Newton per mm square, which is obviously less than 6.75 Newton per mm square. So one check is done over here. Okay, now what is the next thing that we should do? Next thing is, here you see there are many different components have been there. One is, this is for your column, this is for your gusset plate, and this is your angle section. So there must be some critical section about which this projected portion or the outstand portion might act as a very critical portion for the CR or for the moment. Okay, so what is going to happen, that let's consider we can do many different ways. So what I'm doing is I'm going to consider this particular face or this particular face as a critical section, because when we did the bolted connection also, we also calculated the trying to find it out what is the critical sections, and thereby all such other calculations were being conducted or performed. Okay, so here let's say this is my critical section. I could go from here to other portion also. So if it is like that, this XX is going to consider as a critical section of the base for the bolted gusseted base. Then the length of the gusset plate which is acting as a cantilever, the length of the base plate which is acting as cantilever. How much it could be? Let's say this is, I'm going to denote as C. So this C would become, how much is the projection? Projection was 4 mm. Okay, so the length of the base plate which is acting as an cantilever, so 4. So total how much from here your cantilever portion is going to start. So plus 115, that means one of the leg of the angle, minus of that 16, the thickness. Okay, so this much would be something around, approximately I have considered 104 mm. Okay, 104 mm or 105 mm it would be 104 or 105. I think I have made some mistake. It should be the 105, 103. It should be 103. Anyway, I have calculated based on 105 because I think I have taken 15 mm over here. Okay, so this combined thickness of the base plate and gusset angle at a critical section, combined thickness. So maximum moment that might occur, at this critical section would be basically, now it is the critical section over here below, the bearing pressure is coming, critical section below the bearing pressure is coming. Okay, so this would be the W multiplied by C1 square divided by 2. Now what is W? W over here, after making the base plate size, whatever the W has been achieved. So that means it is becoming, we had already calculated 6.68 multiplied by 10, actually it should be 103 square divided by 2. So this is becoming something 36,125.44 Newton mm. Okay, now that much maximum moment that can come over there. Now what we are going to do is the moment capacity of the base plate and the angle leg, that is combined. Moment capacity of base plate and angle leg, or the unconnected leg, you can say the, not, I would not say the unconnected leg, your horizontal leg. Let's consider it is a horizontal leg, combined way would be equated to the MD, which would be equated to 1.2 times multiplied by, there is one formula is there, Fy times elastic sectional modulus divided by gamma m naught. Okay, elastic sectional modulus divided by gamma m naught. So why it is coming over here? This is coming basically a minimum, considering that a minimum overhang C1, I would say that C1 is not required. Why I am putting the C1 overhang portion? But it is being saying that in the code and many other literature that a minimum overhang C1 is desirable, as the maximum design moment will be minimum there. Okay, so the design strength at the critical section is going to happen to be represented in this way, which is coming after making such calculation, 0.2 divided by 1.1. Let me just not exactly this way, 1.2 times Fy divided by gamma m naught times 16 sectional modulus, right? 16 multiplied by 1 multiplied by t square multiplied by t square. So this is becoming 0.2 times of 0.2 times divided by 1.21 Fy t square. Okay. Now this moment capacity to be equated with the maximum moment, and thereby by this way you can calculate what is the thickness that has been required. What is the thickness that has been required? So if I do like this way, MD is equal to the Mx. From here, T is becoming, let's say MD is equal to WC, this is 0.2 times divided by 1.1 Fyt square is equal to your WC1 square divided by 2. So from here T is becoming C1 times 2.75 W divided by Fy. What is W? W is the base pressure that has been happening over there. And C1 is the portion of the base plate that is acting as a cantilever. Okay. And T, what is T? T is now becoming the aggregate thickness of the base plate and the gusset plate for bolted gusset plate connection, and the thickness of the base plate for the welded gusset plate connection at the critical section. Okay. So this T is now becoming 28.19 mm. Let me write it down over here, as it is a bolted gusseted base connection. Let me write it down. What is the T? T is nothing but aggregate thickness of base plate and gusset angle for bolted gusset base and okay at critical section, and same T is only for the thickness of base plate for welded gusset base at critical section. Okay, so the T, after making it, the T is becoming 28.19. okay, so the thickness of base plate is becoming 28.19 minus 16, that is the thickness of the angle. Okay, that much mm. So it is becoming 12.19 mm. So what I'm keeping for that, even though it is, let's say it is 12.19, I'm keeping most of the cases the equal thickness to make ease of the fabrication during in the construction site itself. Okay, so which is greater than 11.6, which is greater than the 11.6 mm, greater than the 11.6 mm, What is this 11.6 mm? 11.6 mm is the thickness of the flange. Okay, so now it is being satisfying, even though the actual case also it is being satisfied, right? So what would be my statement of the solution? Provide a base plate, provide a base plate 620 by 410 by 16 mm. So this would be my one of the answer. Okay, what is the other portion that has been left over here? Now the connection is being coming. Okay, connection means now here bolted connection. Okay, so the bolts would be on the single shear or double shear and the bearing. So single shear VSB. Okay, design shear strength of the bolt ANB, same formula, times FUB divided by square root of 3 times gamma MB. 353, already this has been calculated. 400 divided by square root of 3 times 1.25, 10 to the power minus 3. So this is becoming 65.21 kilonewton. Strength of bolt in bearing, PB, 2.5 times of KB times D times T times FU divided by gamma MB. So now you have to calculate the KB. KB is the minimum of E by 3D naught, which is becoming 0.5. P divided by 3D naught minus 0.25, which is becoming 0.52. Then FUB by FU, which is becoming 0.975 and 1. Okay, so the KB is going to become 0.5 knot. If KB is becoming 0.5 knot, then PB is becoming 2.5 multiplied by 0.5 multiplied by 24, okay, times, or this is called dB, times 16 times 410 divided by 1.25, which is
we don't divide by gamma MB for bearing.
Gamma MB for bearing.
Yeah, divided by gamma MB, right?
Which one we divide? Did I make
we divide by gamma MB in shear. We don't divide by anything in for bearing.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. That's how it's in the code.
Let me just check it.
No, sir, but that would be the nominal strength, right? This is the final design.
This is a design strength, Rahul. See, if we are not providing any factor of safety, the idea is if we are not providing any factor of safety, okay, that means it becomes your nominal. When we are dividing any factor of safety, that becomes your design. Whenever, if we are not providing or not considering the gamma MB at here, then it would be the nominal CR. As long as, or if you are providing the gamma M, we are considering the factor of safety, every time we are considering, then it is a design strength.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, sir.
So from here, the design strength. So this design strength of bolt is becoming 65.21 kilonewton. Now, what I am going to do is, I think those who are there in the previous class, I mentioned something about 50% would be complete bearing or 50% would be partial bearing and all. Okay. So if I assume that column end and the gusset plate or the gusset plate or the gusset material to have complete bearing, 50% of the load would be assumed to pass directly and 50% of the load will pass through the connection or the fasteners. Okay. So if it is like that, then the number of bolts that is been required to connect the column flange with the gusset plate would be how much? Number of bolts that is been required to connect the column flanges with the gusset plate. So 50% reduction I am making, because I am assuming that 50% load will directly transfer through the bearing and 50% load will be transferred through the fasteners or the connectors. Okay. So 0.5 times of how much was my actual load? 1700 kilonewton. Okay. So how much is the bearing? How much is the connectors or the fasteners? Strength 65.21. So this is becoming 13. So what I'm going to make from here, that total 16 bolts are required. Okay. Now total 16 bolts. So what I can do in a better for betterment of our connections, I would equally divide into both the faces. So provide 8 number 24 mm bolts on each flange in 2 rows or in 1 row on each flange. The number of bolts required to connect the gusset plate with the gusset angle will be the same. Okay. Now up to this is okay. Now for in the previously we have been calculated the what is the base plate. We have already assumed that here is it there here? Yes, here. So we have already been assumed that size, some of the what is the thickness of the gusset plate and what is the cleat angle or the gusset angle size. So at the end of the day, what we are going to get, size of base plate is done, size of angle is done or assumed, and the thickness of gusset plate is also assumed. That means it is done. So what is the next thing that I have, and how much number of bolts that has been connected, that has been required to make the connection. So now what is left? Now the left portion is, what is the size? What is the size of this gusset plate would be? Okay. So what I'm going to do, in some of the cases, people generally used to omit with an remark that I can provide you this many and this much number of thickness is required for the gusset plate. But I'm going a little more over here, that height of the gusset plate, GHT, height of gusset plate, that how much it has been required. Let me calculate. 150 plus 2 times of 39. 39 means it is your end distance or edge distance, plus 1 times of 60. 60 is your pitch length. Okay, 60 is your pitch length. So 150 means this is one of the leg that is been connected, one of the leg that is been connected with the gusset. So that much minimum depth it has been required. Now, so that much depth is been required minimum for the gusset plate. Okay. In addition, you have to provide certain things to accommodate the bolts on the gusset plate, providing this much edge distance and end distance. And you have to provide a bare minimum pitch length also. So this total would be the bare minimum height of the gusset plate. So this becomes around 288 mm. Okay. The other portion, length of the gusset plate. Length of the gusset plate, generally we used to provide in practical sense. Length of gusset plate we used to provide same as length LENGTH, length of base plate. So that means it is 410 mm. Okay, so this ends up your entire calculation.
Sir?
Now, who is that?
Sir, Rahul here.
Rahul, just a moment, please hold
Okay.
on. I'll come back. Okay. Now, as I said that this is actually ending up your problem statement or solution. Now, there are two things that I would personally prefer to bring it over here. That if you look into the previous, this particular portion, so does this satisfying whatever the dimensions we have been chosen? That also we require to make ensure. So how do I make ensure over here? We could make ensure by using the same simple way, that this S0 should not be greater than 13.6 times T times epsilon. What is my epsilon now? Epsilon is becoming this much. So how much it is? 250 by 250. So it would be 1. 250 by 250 would be equal to 1. So if it is 1, then 13.6 times 16 is the thickness times 1. So how much it is becoming? It is becoming 217.6 mm. Okay. So how much your outstand, gusset outstand? Gusset outstand S naught is becoming, what is the total length? 410 minus 250. Okay, divide by 2. Which is becoming 80 mm. So, sorry. This is not a gusset outstand. This is a gusset. This is the gusset outstand on the horizontal axis. Outstand. Okay. Now this on the slant side, this S naught would become now, because this is my slant way. So it would become 80 square plus 60 multiplied by 60 plus 60 is the pitch plus 2 times of ठीक है अभी होगी. Now it is becoming 159 के आसपास आएगा. एक मिनट रुक जाए.
So it's 159.5.
Okay, 159.5. Okay, so it should, this is less than this 13.6. So it is, what is 13.6? 217.6. I think now it ends up. Yes, Rahul, now let's start.
So the bolts we placed between the like we calculated the bolted connection for bearing and single shear, but minimum, like we have 8 bolts between gusset plate and the connected leg. There too we have 4, like for placing these 8 bolts would be like the central bolts. There would be double shear, but because they would be connected with the column flange too, and the gusset plate and the leg angle.
Oh, right. Yes. So in that particular context, you are right. So here, actually, I was supposed to calculate. That is a very good point that you have been identified. Actually, we need to find it out, not only the single shear, but also we need to find it out the double shear also. Okay. So how much would be the double shear? Let us calculate over here. How much would be the double shear?
So if we are considering like same 2 times of A and B, we would do it single shear. We would directly get 130.4 kilonewton.
If you are talking about, then 130. So in the code it has been given already. So 130 point something would be there, right? 130 point something. So if it is 130 point something, let's say 130 kilonewton. So some of the portions, let's say if you look into the, so what are the different, this is a single shear, which is coming 65.21, double shear, which is coming 130 point something, and bearing, which is coming 157.44, right? So out of this, I have to take the minimum one. Now you would argue with me that why I would consider the single shear. Definitely you should argue with me.
Yeah, so because for some bolts they won't be in single shear.
Yes.
So you can definitely take double shear for their minimum capacity.
Yes. So for some of the bolts, like at here or at here or at here, it would be the double shear. Okay. But this portion essentially is, this portion is a single shear. These other 3 portions over here, whenever the angle cleat angle has been connected, here double shear would be there. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Now the point what I'm saying is, now consider a single component, whether it is a single shear or double shear. Some of the portion would be double shear, some of the portion would be single shear. Now, for example, if I consider this one, double shear portion, what would happen? Let me just go back. What would happen? This part actually going to reduce. So now it would be becoming, let's say 130 point something, 130.4 or something kilonewton. So the number of bolts that has been required effectively, it would be very, very less.
Yes, sir.
So you might not get the actual strength which has been required or which is been required to transfer the 50% of the load through the fasteners, because you are considering, or we are considering, I am not going to point out you. Basically, if we are considering only the single shear or double shear, what would happen? Number of bolts definitely would reduce. If the number
Yes.
of bolts are going to get reduced, assuming that everything would be in the double shear, but some of the portion would be on the single shear. So we have to have, see, in the bolted connection, the primary problem of the bolted connection is the bolts will get failed, whether it is a single shear or double shear. Okay.
So right now for our calculation, I think everything is all right, because but if we just try some bolts would be in double shear. So I am making the problem a little more complicated, and I'm like we have done a more conservative calculation rather than what I am saying.
Yes. See,
That's the point.
Rahul, in the design office, there is a very limited time would be there for you, because only this kind of exercise only we can do in the theoretical or in the academic point of view. Okay, because see, everything whenever we are doing that number of bolts and all these things, they merely care about that. Okay, I require 10 bolts exactly, but I am providing that 12 number of bolts. So if I reduce 2 number of bolts or 3 number of bolts in a practical scenario, I'm talking about, I'm not talking about in an academic point of view. 2 number
Yes,
of
sir.
bolts, 3 number of bolts, if I am providing or if I am removing from that requirement, perhaps they don't care all these small issues. So my point is, we have to make our design at least somewhat in a conservative mode, so that the structure or the structural stability is not going to get compromised. Structural stability in the sense I am talking about not this buckling and all. I am talking about in the sense that it is whether it would be intending its own purpose for which it is being built or not. See, this is from the superstructure, the load is being transferred onto the ground. If I could make this particular portion is very weak, perhaps I would be in danger situation. I do agree with you in terms of the academic
Yes,
point.
yes, sir. For academically, we could do it, but for for a
Yes.
bigger structure, we would not be even have time to calculate for single connections.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So is that okay? And let me now come back to Anirudh. Anirudh.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, boss, I couldn't make today by considering the moment. So anyway, we are going to meet tomorrow, because tomorrow I think it is a working day. So tomorrow I'll give you because this entire portion would be as it is. Only addition would be that the moment. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So
Sir, tomorrow
that
when is the time?
same time tomorrow will be following the Friday timetable.
Okay, sir. Okay.
It is already there in the institute calendar.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll be considering the moment. Then we'll be going towards the, let me just have a look into that. Then perhaps I'm planning to go with the lacing system of the column and then the battening system of the column. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So with this, I am closing today's session. Is that okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.